God is a God of timing. And so a lot of times when we are waiting, that's our preparation seasoning. But most times we use our preparation seasoning complaining, boyfriend last year me a prayer, I can't get this, I can't do that, I can't do that. And you're wasting your preparation time because your preparation time is supposed to be used to help you build the skills, to build the resilience, to build whatever it is that you are going to need to maintain what you are asking God for. And if you are not ready, if you're not in a position to maintain what you're asking God for, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it because you're not ready. And all you're going to do is misuse, mismanage, and abuse what you're getting if you are not ready. There are some people who don't belong in a relationship. Why? They're not ready. Either there are traumatic events that happen, when they were growing up, or they've been in relationships that were traumatic and they have not recovered from it. And a lot of times, that's the first thing people do when they're in a relationship and it doesn't work out. As soon as they left that person, they run on into the next relationship. They don't take any time to sit with themselves, to understand themselves before they go into a new relationship. Why did the relationship that you were in before, why it never work? Why didn't it work? You need to ask yourself that question. And whatever faults or whatever part you played in that previous relationship not working, you need to fix them before you jump into the next one. Because if you jump into the next one with the same issues, you're going to get the same results. Right? So you have to be able to learn from your setbacks. You need to also maintain a positive mindset. Remember, you were created by God. It doesn't matter what the devil tells you. It doesn't matter what the enemy tells you, because he's going to tell you all kind of things. Every time he comes to you, tell him he's a liar, because none of that was a part of what God planned for you. And you have to keep telling yourself that. You have to keep putting that in your head every chance you get, whether it's through affirmations, through your prayers, through your worship, every chance you get. Tell yourself that you are going to be what God or who God called you to be. And that's you maintaining a positive mindset. If you're negative, that's also going to be a blockage to you understanding purpose, because you cannot see the good in anything, even if it's staring you in the face, if you're negative, right? So you have to have a positive mindset. I talk about prioritizing self-care before. You cannot work. There's a saying that says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You can't work 24/7, just work, and you're not taking any time for yourself. And taking time for yourself in terms of self-care doesn't necessarily mean, oh, go planning a trip to France, to places that you probably don't have money to go to. It could be just deciding that when you come home from work today is the day that you are not doing anything. You're just gonna take a shower, you're going into the bed, and you're just gonna watch a nice movie, or you're gonna watch something to make you laugh. Whatever form your self-care takes, you need to take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself needs to be a priority. Don't say, oh, the children, and oh, the husband, and oh, the house. Let me tell you something. You will have nothing to give to children, husband, and house if you are not taking care of yourself, right? What you have in you is what you give to children, husband, and house. And if you don't have anything in you to give to husband, children, and house, what are they going to get? So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And I came back to this because I wanted to reiterate the importance of self-care, right? Um, make connections with people. So, when you go to places, sometimes some of us are antisocial. We go places and we just sit down quiet. We don't talk to nobody, and we just observe all through. When you go to places, certain places, that's your opportunity to connect and network with people. When you network with people, you will know whether or not this is somebody that you can put in your circle or not, right? And when I say put in your circle, the person doesn't have to automatically become your best friend. You just know that, all right, if I need somebody to pray, I can pick up my phone and call Victoria, because I know that Victoria is going to pray any time of the night, right? So those type of things, have people in your surrounding that you can call on. There is a gem that we used to say in primary school. It says, no man is an island, no man stands alone. There are some of us who feel like we can do everything by ourselves, and you are wrong. You are going to break if you feel like you can do it by yourself. You cannot. You need people, right? And know this too, that when God is blessing men, he uses other men to bless. So don't bother feel like, say, when your blessing is coming, God is going to send Archangel Michael to come deliver it to you. Nope. He's going to send your neighbor where you don't like, where you always a cuss with and a fight with. Or he's going to send a co-worker at work that has been a thorn in your flesh for years, right? He uses men to bless men. And sometimes God will use the person who hate you like a dose of poison to bless you. Don't you dare put God in a box. Some of the best opportunities that I've had come from people who claim they don't like me. But when God sent them to do what they need to do for me, they have to do it. They have no choice but to do it. Because why? It's ordained by God. And they don't even realize that they are being your destiny helper, because God has ordained it to be that way. Right? What Potiphar's wife did to Joseph, she didn't even understand that it was the best thing that she could have ever done to him, because she set him up for success just by doing him the evil that she did. And there are a lot of times people keep doing you evil and they feel like they're doing you something, but they're not doing you anything. They're setting you up for the blessing that God has in store for you. Right? So in doing these things, you will be able to achieve consistency, you will be able to achieve discipline, you will be able to build your resilience, you will be able to be consistent in your routines, making sure that you get to the place where every single thing that you need to get done is being done. And again, I'm going to reiterate, Rome was not built in a day. So stop cussing yourself and saying to yourself, oh, that's not going to be. Something is always going on. But sometimes you can't see what is going on. You can't see what's happening, but God is working in the background. And sometimes we use our mouths and tear down with oneself, tear down the blessing that God has in store for us. The worst thing you could ever do is be a person that is ungrateful, and everything that is happening for you, you keep, nah, going to me. Even when you can't see it, say with your lips that everything that God desires to work out for me is working. And everything that God has in store for me, I'm going to get. For the past couple of weeks, the enemy has been fighting me so hard, tooth and nail. And I'm not saying a word to him, because I know that I am not giving up. And I know that every single thing that God have in store for me, I'm going to get it. So we are going to see who is the bigger and who is the better man, him or God. Right? Because I know that things are going to work for my favor. Why? Because God says so. And that's the type of mindset that we have to develop. That's the type of resilience that we have to develop. Because if you don't, trust me, you'll lose already before you start. Right? So you have to make sure that that mindset is what you have. All right. So we're a little bit over for tonight. That's basically it for class tonight. Are there any questions? You guys know I'm going to ask. Are there any questions? Any feedback? Anything? Anybody? Go. I notice I don't have no questions, I wonder about that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing.
Is that a good thing? Okay. All right. So no questions?
You've been explicit.
Okay. All right, great. All right. So for next class, well, not necessarily for next class, but the routines that you've worked on, for those of you who have your routines, those who haven't had a chance to do your routines yet, please make sure you sit down, spend some time and do your routines and start your routines. If you can start your routine tonight, start your routine. If you can start your routine tomorrow, start your routine and start doing your journal entries, on a daily basis to help you gauge, where you were and the changes that you see happening, how you start to feel the difference in your emotions, the difference in your thought process, all of those things, right? As we go and we learn, you put into action what you learn. Don't wait until after the 90 days you go, because believe me, after the 90 days, you probably start get lazy and start to feel like, why can't do this? But if you are doing it while you are learning it, it makes it a little bit easier for you to get it done, right? So attack it. If it's even 5 or 10 minutes out of your day, don't make the devil rob you of what you are supposed to get by telling you you're always busy. Nonsense. Find time, because we find time for everything else. So the things that are supposed to edify us and make us better, find time for it. If it's even 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, you don't have to be half hour or an hour. It can just be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Start small, start with what you have and get the ball rolling. All right. All right. So if there are no questions or no
Oh,
queries, that's
I have
who's that?
I have a question, Coach Michael. For the routine, it should
Mm-hmm.
go all the way up to Sunday, from Monday to Sunday,
It
or you
de-
stop it at Friday.
it depends on you really. So it depends on what your schedule is. For me, currently my daily devotion is every day, so 7 days. But there are certain Bible studies that I have scheduled for specific days. I don't do it every day, right?